Japan's population is aging. If you're looking for proof, this street in Tokyo is all you need to see. This is an unbelievable sight. I've never seen anything quite like this. So many senior citizens all in one street. Fascinating scene, but a graying Japan also means a shrinking workforce. It's a problem, labor activists and workers' rights advocates say, with an obvious solution.
We need, I think, foreigners coming into Japan.
In Japan's case, however, that's easier said than done.
人材不足の経営課題を抱えている中小企業の中では、運送業、製造業といったような外国人の労働力を欲しい業種業態はあるんですけれども、今のワーキングビザ、就労ビザでは単純労働が認められていないので、そこの部分では日本の政策と実際のその経済の状況とは著しく乖離があります。
Without work visas, unskilled foreign workers are guaranteed fewer protections. Yet, they keep coming to Japan. Hello and welcome to this edition of Assignment Asia. I'm Barnaby in Japan, where the population is widely believed to be 98% ethnic Japanese. But it is also an aging and dwindling population. The United Nations projects that by the end of the century, Japan would have lost more than 40 million people, and yet it continues to resist immigration. Okay. Far from the hustle and bustle of Tokyo, Vic, who's from the Philippines, has been quietly making a living as a laborer in a junkyard for over half a year. Like millions of other Filipinos working overseas, he's sacrificing time away from his family.
Nakita ko worth it naman. Kaya nga sabi ko, mabigyan na ako ng kahit na isang taon lang o ilang buwan pa. Okay lang sa akin, at least nakaipon-ipon ako noon. Iba din kasi yung para ka ditong typical na tinuring ka nilang employee.
Like a normal employee, Vic says, that's because he's undocumented and was taken advantage of by his first employer. Sacrifice for him has taken on a new meaning.
Talagang tagugas niya ako ng sasakyan. Sabi niya, pumunta ka rito, buhatin mo to, linisin mo yung mamalengke ka. Pang-personal niya. Ginagawa ko yun kasi hindi ko na alam, wala akong makapitan, di ba? Ngayon, nung sinasabi ko sa'yo na binigyan niya ako ng isang lapad at 3 linggo na yun, talaga nag-isip ako ng araw-araw, na-stress na ako.
And while he may have already found a compassionate employer, Vic still has to live in the shadows.
Hindi ako pumapasyal, hindi ako makain sa restaurant, hindi ako nagkakaraoke. So kadalasan nakamask ako. Kakaber ka ng muka para hindi ka mahalata na ibang lahi ka.
Pero yung pagpunta mo dito, bakit? You know, masyado kang maraming risk na tinake, masyadong maraming paghihirap na naranasan.
Minsan sa Amerika, sa Italy, sa Spain, di ba? Meron sila mga programa na kapag ang isang undocumented, nagkaroon ng mga sa trabaho, nakapagbayad ng tax, pwedeng magbayad ng mga government dues, saka ng mga penalty, nabibigyan nila ng pagkakataon magkabisa. So yun ang inakala ko naman na may ganun din dito. Hindi ko naman in-expect na dito pala sa Japan talagang medyo iba pala ang immigration policy nila.
So umasa ka talaga?
Umasa talaga ako. Kasi talagang siguro nga ito, Japanese dream, di ba? Biruin mo.
So parang, ano tingin mo ngayon sa Japanese dream mo? Nasira ba?
Ang tingin ko sa Japanese dream ko ngayon, wala nang Japanese dream pala ngayon. Ngayon, mag-asawa ka ng Hapon, o mag-asawa ka ng Pilipinan na permanent resident na rito.
Pwede yun.
Pwede.
Permanent resident.
Oh, yung parang Hapon na rin sila.
It's not the only way, but it's the easiest and surest. Otherwise, if you're a foreigner who wants to work in Japan legally, you must return to your home country in 2 or 3 years' time.
なのでビザが発給できないんですけれども、トレーニングビザ、技能実習生のビザであれば、製造業とか単純労働、工場労働者 コンベアとかですね、箱詰めといった労働、運転とか、そういう労働でも認められることができるんです。そのために技能実習生というビザを作って、外国の経済の発展に寄与するっていうのが目的ですね。
The problem is, a great number of those who set foot in Japan as essentially guest workers never left. George and Vicky arrived from Ghana in the early 90s.
When I was in Ghana, I was jobless. There's no work for me. So I have to find a way out to Japan to find a work to do.
And what did he tell you about his life in Japan that first year?
The language barrier was beaten, and staying alone is somehow difficult. So it's better for me to join him.
You're saying the Japanese government was lenient?
Yes, yes.
Lenient? And so your experience then was you could go out and...
Yeah, everything you can do.
The place I came, I saw many foreigners, Ghanaians staying in that place.
At first we were many.
Many.
Yeah, but...
So then you thought you could build a life here?
Yeah. Wow.
To a certain extent, they did. Their daughter, 14-year-old Hope, was born in Japan. The only language she speaks is Japanese. The only food she eats is Japanese. In fact, if you ask her, she'll tell you she's Japanese.
ちゃんと日本で生まれたし、その国の言葉もわかんないから、だからちゃんと日本人として生きていきたいからです。
For the most part, Hope appears to be living the life of a regular Japanese teenager. She goes to public school and is even the captain of her school's girls' basketball team. But despite being born and raised in Japan, along with her parents, she's technically an undocumented migrant.
So what are these papers?
Officially, they detained all of us. But
All three,
yeah.
including Hope?
Yeah.
Including Hope?
Because we are holding this. That means they have detained all of us. Because
Wow.
we don't have right to do this and that.
And that includes the right to work. So now both George and Vicky are jobless. If not for Good Samaritans, they'd be homeless and hungry too. Now they're living in a church office and are surviving on dole-outs. So, what are your options now?
Yeah. Right now, what we want the government to do for us is to give us visa so that we can work and then take care of the child. Because right now we don't have future. We don't have anything for future.
What they do believe in is Hope's talent in basketball. So much so that they're banking on it to legitimize their family's stay in Japan. Do you feel she has a future here as a basketball star?
Oh,
Yes, of course.
she's trying very hard. Very hard. Even
Yeah, she now now she has one step to be a star in Japan.
You're saying she can be in the national team?
Yeah, she can.
only one step.
Hope is a little less optimistic, but she also believes that basketball may be their final hope.
バスケットで日本代表になるっていうことは世界の道と開く道だと思うんですよ。で、その日本代表なのにそのビザをくれないとかはおかしいと思うからです。
If she does make the national team and is granted residency, her parents aren't necessarily going to be given the same legal status. That's what worries people helping them.
これまでも日
日本政府入管の考え方は変わらないんですね。ずっとあるのは、例えば以前あったフィリピン人の子供がですね、在留資格を得たと。ところがお父さんお母さんは帰りなさいと。家族の結合権についてですね、日本政府は全く配慮していない。家族は当然一緒になって住むものですけどね。
It's a concern that's always at the back of George and Vicky's minds. Any day, they say, they can get arrested and deported. But while that fear isn't totally unfounded, opposition lawmaker Masaharu Nakagawa says immigration authorities are more likely not to go after them for the time being.
In a sense, right now, the many cases are undecided. Like in a status quo, they are applying for the status people, but the immigration office are in a position undecided, so they can continue to stay as they are. We have humanitarian consideration for each cases. So the thing that we should do is to broaden that kind of framework in each case. And it is what I'm doing to the immigration office.
Undocumented migrants like George and Vicky will ultimately need amnesty, something the Japanese government may not be ready to give yet. But that doesn't mean it's not opening its doors to more foreign workers. In fact, there are now more than 1 million foreign workers in Japan, more than double the number 10 years ago. Many of them are highly skilled, engineers, business executives, academics for instance. But the government has also created new visa categories for certain sectors.
と思いますね。なので、まず介護のビザも変わってきましたし、あとは、今は、家事手伝いということで、日本に呼んでくるっていうような、特別な扱いというか、そういうことも広がってきているので、少しずつは広がってきてます。
Shinichi Hirayanagi has been helping recruit Filipino caregivers, like 25-year-old Vanessa Villarreal. Vanessa was a nurse back home, and although she'd been planning to work abroad, she never imagined she'd end up as a caregiver, and in Japan.
Bakit ayaw mo sana dito sa Japan?
Siguro wala po akong confidence.
Wala kang confidence na...
Dito po kasi sabi ng ano ko po, mga naririnig ko na mahirap daw po yung Japanese language.
Pero nadidinig kita magsalita kanina, marunong ka na.
Kasi po for almost 1.5 year na po kami nag-aaral ng Hapon. Yung Hapon, Nihongo. Medyo mahirap po talaga, lalo na po yung kanji nila.
Learning the Japanese language is part of the deal. Their contract ends in 3 years, after which they have to take an exam in Japanese. More importantly though, as Vanessa and her Filipino colleagues have learned, the best way to assimilate into Japanese society is to understand and speak their language.
Sa trabaho naman, ano naging mga challenges?
Po.
Yeah.
Yun nga po, number 1 po talaga is communication. Ang hirap po kasing minsan maintindihan yung mga matatanda po kung ano po yung gusto nila, hindi po namin mabigay kasi hindi po namin masyadong maintindihan yung sinasabi niya. Pero so far po, okay naman po kasi minsan po pag hindi namin maintindihan, tinatanong namin yung mga iba naming co-workers kung ano po yung ibig sabihin ng mga matatanda. Yun po, tinuturo naman nila kung ano yung ibig nilang sabihin.
Sabi mo kanina, hindi mo talaga ginusto pumunta dito sa Japan. Pero ngayon, ano yung pakiramdam mo na nandito ka na?
Masaya po. Kasi dito po sa facility to, mababait po yung mga co-workers namin, yung head ng facility, yung mga matatanda. Nag-enjoy po kami kasi ang cute-cute nila. Super po. Nawawala po yung pagod namin kapag pag sinasabihan nila kami, ay thank you, arigato, arigato, mga ganyang bagay. Yung pong na-appreciate nila yung mga ginagawa namin.
Thankful ka ba sa Japanese government?
Opo, thankful po talaga kasi marami pong nabigyan ng opportunity ng mga Pilipino na gusto magtrabaho dito. Parang stepping stone po itong Japan.
That foreign caregivers are now being given full-fledged work visas may be a sign that Japan is slowly opening its borders to more low-skilled migrant workers. But changing Japanese attitude toward cultural diversity may be harder.
というのが、良くないんですけども、日本人の場合は、外国人の働く人っていうのを同じワーカーという考え方ではなくて作業員っていうような見方をするのがすごく強いので、そうすると単純にこう作業してお金をもらうっていうだけの夢しか見えないので、
よりこう親和性を持ちにくい日本人の習慣性もあったり、でそこがその民族っていうのとイコールになるかっていうと、多分多くの日本の方はそこがイコールになってないのかなとは思います。
If you've ever been to Japan's capital, Tokyo, you'll see that everywhere you look, there are foreigners. It's easy to think that this city and the country are a melting pot. But recent research commissioned by the Justice Ministry found that discrimination against foreigners living in Japan is still rampant. For instance, a quarter of those surveyed said they couldn't find jobs in the last 5 years. Even those with Japanese blood and who've only known Japan as their home struggle to fit in. Suzy Carrion and her daughter Saiko have been living in Japan for years. Suzy for far longer than Saiko, but it's Saiko who's half Japanese, or hafu as referred to by Japanese people. But somehow, Saiko is still unable to find her comfort zone in Japan, having spent her childhood in the Philippines. She was 11 when she first moved to this country. The years she spent in school here, she says, were some of her worst.
Ang hirap makipag-usap sa kanila na kahit gusto mong makipagkaibigan, hindi mo alam kung paano mo sisimulan. Tapos naiilang ako kasi chubby-chubby na nga din ako nun. Parang wala kang confident na ma-okay yung tanggap nila sa'yo, tapos ibang lahi ka pa.
Pero hapon ka din eh.
O yun, hap nga, kaso nga, sa Pinas lumaki. Kaya iba pa din yung tingin nila.
Bakit kaya? Tsaka paano? Paano yung pagkakaiba?
Makikita mo sa kanila na parang mas pinaprioritize nila yung mga Hapon na lahi. Kasi doon doon kayo kakain sa school, gano'n. Tapos toban-toban, gano'n. Bibigyan ka nila. Maano mo na lahat sila pare-pareho yung dami. Tapos pagdating sa'yo yung pinaka-konti, gano'n. Tapos ayun, dito naman ako nag-high school nun. Yun yung pinaka talagang inayawan ko.
Kwento mo.
Na hindi na ako pumapasok. Akala ni mami pumapasok ako. Pero nasa park lang ako. Doon ako tumatambay. Kasi yung mga kaklase ko nun talagang mga sexy sila, gano'n. Mataba nga ako. Yung parang feeling ko lagi nilang pinagtatawanan yung suot ko dahil nakapalda, ang laki ng hita, gano'n. Tapos nung time na yun talaga wala nang kumakausap sa akin.
Wow.
Talagang sila happy-happy, tapos ako mag-isa lang doon sa upuan, gano'n.
Saiko's mother, Suzy, was clueless at first. Years apart had made them somewhat strangers to each other.
Kita ko, kaya lang, tinitiis ko. Hindi ako nagtatanong kasi natatakot akong sumagot siya na ayoko dito. Hindi niya alam na ano ko yung mga parang meron siyang sa balat. Sabi ko, ano ba yan? Yun nga daw, katuwaan lang daw na talagang parang grupo, yung nila, ganyan.
Pero tinanggap mo yung sagot.
Yun lang. Sabi ko, ganun. Pero sa isip ko, baka may ginagawang hindi maganda to. Kasi natakot din ako.
Turned out, Suzy did have a good reason to worry.
Pag wala akong masabihan kasi ng problema, ganun.
ginagawa ko, biniblade ko na lang yung sarili ko, gano'n. Doon ko na lang dinadaan.
By Saiko's junior year in high school, Susie relented. She let Saiko return to the Philippines. After all, she knew a thing or two about being young and new in a foreign land. She came to Japan as an entertainer when she was just 17.
Minumura ka?
Oo. Kasi yung mura dito, yung baka, umay, pangit masalitain ng Japanese.
Oo.
Yung sabihin sa'yo, umay. May pangalan ka, anin ka sa umay. O kaya, baka. Kala nila lahat ng nagja-Japan na ilalabas. Pero hindi lahat ng nag-Japan ng mga Pilipina noon. Hindi, huwag nilang bansagan ng Japayuki. Kasi hindi totoo yun.
Okay.
Meron talagang nagpunta lang din na trabaho, as in trabaho lang, sweldo lang yung inaasahan. Na pag-uwi, sabi nila maraming dalang pera. Sahod yun, sa sweldo yun.
Since becoming a permanent resident, Susie has moved on to other jobs. Throughout the years, she's been able to provide for her entire family. Seeing how her mother was able to do that ultimately encouraged Saiko to go back to Japan.
Nagtrabaho, bala ko nun, tatry ko lang. Tapos hanggang sa nagustuhan ko na dahil puro Pinoy nga kasama ko doon sa una kong trabaho. Sabi ko kay mami, next year na ako uwi. Tapos hanggang maging next year, hindi na ako nakauwi. Dito na ako nagstay na.
Saiko still has difficulty interacting with Japanese people, even though hafus like her may have gained a little more acceptance in Japanese society in recent years. Priyanka Yoshikawa was born in Japan to an Indian father and a Japanese mother. She spent most of her childhood in the United States and in India before moving back to Japan in 6th grade.
How was it having to come back to Japan?
When I came back, my friend was like, Priyanka, your ears are pierced, you know? And I'm like, yeah, my ears are pierced. My dad did it, you know? Like, it's nothing new. So those little things of the difference is, and you're a child, so you're like 9 or 10. It was more something new to not to relate. So that kind of barrier we do have, I did have with my classmates, but that's nothing like depressing.
It helped that Priyanka could already speak fluent Japanese, so she fit in almost instantly. But her physical attributes do give her ethnicity away. She says they come with certain expectations, especially in the modeling world.
As a half, like, you have expectations of saying like height-wise, or everybody expects you to speak English. Some girls only speak Japanese. Like, a few of my friends are mixed and they don't know any other languages than Japanese. So those kind of things they expect. So when you're in auditions, they do ask you, oh, so how many languages, you know, like they think that is normal.
Priyanka does fulfill most of those expectations. But she's done what most Japanese wouldn't expect. You see, in predominantly monoracial Japan, its representatives to international beauty pageants have almost always been 100% ethnic Japanese. In 2016, Priyanka was crowned Miss World Japan, the country's second hafu beauty queen. Her win was less controversial than the first, which came just 1 year earlier.
I sort of like, you expect that's going to happen, you know, because you're the first one for Miss World Japan. And even if I was not a mix, I would still have fame because every single person in the world cannot like you. Like, somebody will still say, oh, why she is Miss World Japan. So how I deal with it was like, I didn't like focus like watching the internet every day and, you know, reading all the negative messages, because I received a lot more than the negative. I received a lot of support and love, so that helped me.
Japan. Interestingly, that same year, Priyanka's male counterpart, Mr. World Japan, was also a hafu. Yuki Sato is a half Australian, half Japanese professional basketball player. He says he felt there was no issue at all with him representing Japan in the Mr. World pageant, but sometimes feels being mixed race in Japan carries with it different expectations and stereotypes.
I'm half, but I'm not that tall. I'm only like 5'10". They expect you, if you got like foreign blood in you, they expect you to be like 6'4", 6'5".
Has it always been like that since you moved to Japan?
Since day one. Since day one. Nobody believes I'm Japanese. So I introduce myself as, hi, I'm Yuki. And they're like, you have a Japanese name? What's your surname? And I say Sato, and they're like, so you don't have an English surname?
Do you get offended?
I used to get offended, but now I just embrace it. That's part of me. And things are changing so much in Japan that, you know, people are more open-minded, so it doesn't seem as offensive as before.
Yet both Yuki and Priyanka say Japan still has a long way to go towards fully accepting mixed-race Japanese and migrants. They both embraced their role in bringing about more change.
I registered for Miss World Japan as a Japanese. So it's not like I registered to make a, like a difference to, show how international it is, because I just entered like purely because I wanted to, and I thought I could be a best Miss World Japan. And then things changed from the results, and by chosen as Miss World Japan, it's one proof that things are changing in the society of Japan.
We just have to keep breaking boundaries and, think about looking at the person more, how he or she is, what kind of, background they grew up in, and, what they cherish and stuff like that.
Do you feel you're more Japanese, or, like, how much of you is Japanese?
I still say 50-50. Because I do like the Japanese good side, but also again there's also the side of Japan that I don't like as well, but that goes to Australia as well.
For me, yeah, best, but I would say 100, not 50-50.
Well, what do you mean 100-100?
I don't want to be like, that's like half, right? I want to be full, because I am full. It'll be just taking one side of my parents. I'm both. And then I'm me, so. Yeah.
Foreigners living in Japan don't necessarily want to be Japanese, but they're hoping they can be fully integrated into the Japanese immigration system and Japanese society. How does one become Japanese? Well, under current laws, the surest way is to be born Japanese by blood. And while it isn't impossible for foreigners to obtain citizenship or permanent residency, immigration remains a difficult and often complicated process in Japan. You can learn more about this story on our website, www.assignment-asia.com. That's all the time we have for this week. I'm Barnaby Low. Thanks for watching, and join us again on Assignment Asia. Share your thoughts and contribute story ideas for future shows by contacting us on social media.